Good morning, and I'm on the bus heading towards Hullbridge. I'm going to do a little village tour of Hullbridge this afternoon because I've got no wheels today, and yeah, so why not? Let's go by bus. See you in Hullbridge. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, we're in Hullbridge. I think I'm going to start the walk along the river. So I'm going to walk down Paul's Lane and it takes you down towards the river, and then I'll walk back and up through the village. Yeah, I'll do that. Still in Paul's Lane, heading down towards Brandy Hull, and I've run out of footpath. So it's got a rural feel to it. I mean, it's called a village, but it's quite a big village really. It's not the idea of a village that I have in my head, the size of it. Right, I've just come to a dead end. I thought I might be able to get down to the Riverside walking down this road. So I've got about a 10-minute walk back to where I saw an access point to the river. Oh well. Hullbridge Yacht Club there, members only. But I've made it to the sea wall, thank God. I will apologise now for the wind noise. Because it always seems to be bad in this country lately. Every time I go anywhere and try and film outside, the wind is always blowing. It's a pain in the neck. That is the River Crouch. To the left, going inland, flowing west. It takes you up to the centre of the village of Hullbridge, Southwood and Ferrers, and eventually to Battlesbridge and Wickford. And to the right, flowing downstream to the east, that takes you to the North Sea, past Burnham on Crouch. There's some nice properties along the river here. You wouldn't even know they was there unless you come for a walk up the river this way. So basically, if you want to do this walk, if you go into Hullbridge, right down to the river, and then turn right at the Anchor pub, and just walk down for about, I don't know, half a mile, maybe a little bit more than that, and you come to this footpath. But there are some nice gaffs there. Wonder whether this is the old yacht club. completely derelict now. It's a shame. I wonder whether it's a victim of the pandemic. Don't look totally abandoned. Right, so that's all there is to see on this part of the Riverside. I'm going to walk back into the centre of the village now, where all the amenities are. So we're coming close to the village centre now. This should open up in a minute, and there's a pub on the left, right on the Riverside, called the Anchor. And I'll just tell you now that Hullbridge is named after the fact that there was a bridge across the river here. There was an old rumour that it used to be in Roman times, but I think that's been discounted. But there was a bridge here hundreds of years ago. There's no need for it now because the river at this point at low tide is fordable between here and Southwood and Ferrers. I wouldn't advise doing it in a Sinclair C5, but it is fordable. Sounds like live music outside the pub. That's not in the pub, must be in one of the yacht clubs. Upriver Yacht Club. Afternoon. A smuggler's den. Kendall Park, Hullbridge, local nature reserve. That's a nice outlook, nice place to sit on a bench. So I'm coming to the end of the nature reserve, Kendall Park, and probably the end of the walk along the river here before I head back to the village. Public footpath. Right, I'm going to walk to the end of here, I'm going to have a little look what's at the end of it, and then I'm going to walk back to the village. And that is it. We've come to the end of Hullbridge along the river. There's a nice walk that. I've just got to go back into the village now. Over the river there, you can see the fairly new town of Southwood and Ferrers in the distance. Not sure how well you're going to pick that up on this camera. And that is the River Crouch. I'm going to go back into the village now. I'm going to see if I can stick my head in that smuggler's den and get a pint, because I thought it was members only, but looking at that, it looked like it was open to the public. It didn't mention anything about being members only, so I'll stick my head in and I'll have a look. Oh, yeah, that's the Riverside done for now.
£4.20.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
Well, I'm quite surprised we didn't get Hullbridge lovely there, because he's taken the pole position and 10th of his career, as I said, the 6th and last.
Well, he's very relaxed. He's just treating it like a normal race weekend, and the other side of the fence is going bananas. So, what an amazing outfit.
Just that ability to have tunnel vision. I honestly think that we all
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
We've seen him mature over the years, you know, and you forget how young he still is.
That was alright. Nice cosy little place for a pint. And I'm back to where the bus dropped me off. I wonder whether that's a private function going on there, over there with that live music. I'll just have a little look. If I can get in there, I'll have a little look around. If not, no worries. It says invited guests only just before you walk in there, so I'm not invited. There's anywhere up here to get something to eat. I'm going to get something to eat, because I don't even know what the time is. It's the afternoon and I haven't had nothing to eat all day. All I've had is that pint and a cup of tea. So we're coming up into now what I suppose you would call the town centre, or not town centre, the village centre. Now there's a kebab shop there, but I don't really want a kebab. It's a bit too heavy for this time of day. Although I'm hungry, I don't need a kebab, put it that way. Looks alright though, looks nice and clean. I know there's some more shops further down because I remember passing the shops on the bus. So I'm going to look up there. If there's a chip shop, I might just get a bag of chips. That's all I need. Cheap and cheerful. Cheap as chips. There's not much to see along the main drag in Hullbridge. It's just houses. Look at all these gnomes up here though, look. That's got to be the best kept garden in Hullbridge. There's the local library. I'm surprised it's even still open in this day and age. What with all the information you can get online and in the palm of your hand on a phone, it's refreshing to see a library. I was banking on the chip shop being open. I should have stopped off at the kebab. What a pain in the neck. Oh well. I need to lose a few pound anyway, so it ain't such a bad thing. Aye, there's a little bakery here. Let's see what they got in there. Nice handheld snack.
The tea place was shut. Oh, is it? So she's disappointed with me there. But I said, I can't go through that.
Nothing. No handheld snacks. Looks like it's going to have to be a cold handheld snack from the co-op. Jesus, they've got one sandwich left on the shelf. There's a bigger co-op further down the road. There's nothing in here for me. That's all right, love, no worries. It's a tiny little church. Mrs. C's afternoon teas. What do you reckon, that's in her house or something? Do you reckon that's in her house or something? So that really is it for the village centre. I've done the Riverside and the centre of the village, and that really is it. There's not much more. There's a bigger supermarket up the top of the road, up the top of Ferry Road, and I'm going to have to get something to eat in there. But there's also a few more things to show you in the village. There's a big new development, and I noticed on the way into town that in the new development they've got a war memorial that wasn't there before, so I'll head up that way and I'll have a look. But as for the centre of the village, that is basically it. A few more sandwiches on offer here. Chicken mayo, that'll do me. It's 4 o'clock and there's a bus at 25 to 5. So I'm just going to use this half hour or so to see what's up this end of the village. Not much, I suspect, but I'll walk up this hill, known locally as Coventry Hill, and if there's nothing up there, I'll go back down to the new development and the war memorial that I see earlier when I was on the bus. Apart from this abandoned petrol garage or a gas station, there's nothing up here. Hullbridge Sports Club. Well, that's private property. I can't go in there, but I mean, what's in there anyway? Just a football pitch and a clubhouse probably. So not much to say there anyway, but that's it at the top of Coventry Hill. I'm going to start walking back now because there's no more to see up here at all. Hullbridge Free Church. Tiny churches have in this little village. I've got to try and get across this road now. Made it. We are coming up to the new development at the top of the village of Hullbridge, which I'm not sure all the locals are overjoyed about. Alexander Botts, pride in the job winner. Well done, Alexander. This memorial is dedicated to all those of Hullbridge and surrounding districts who served their country, and to the memory of those who lost their lives. In memory of men and women of Hullbridge who have served in conflicts around the world, lest we forget. Quite a basic memorial, but it is there at least anyway. But that is the end of my Hullbridge journey. It's quite a bit there to see for a village, I think. It's bigger than your average village, especially with these new developments going up on the edge of the village. I think the population's 6,000 or 7,000, something like that, so this has got to increase it by a bit more, this new development. So I've made it back to the bus stop, and I'm just waiting for the bus now to take me back home. See you in the next video. I've got that return ticket.